appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Looks like I am live. Fantastic. All right. Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Tara. This is Ear Training Tuesday. I am a professional singer based in New York City, as well as a vocal singing teacher, music educator, composer, and content creator. And I learned very quickly on my content creation journey that people are hungry for music education and that there's often a steep paywall between you and quality music education. So I have different offerings on both YouTube Live and TikTok Live daily, Monday through Friday, to share my knowledge with you all. And this time is for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Today is Ear Training Tuesday. This is a sister session with Music Theory Monday. Yesterday in Music Theory Monday, we learned how to build a major scale. Okay, so if you missed that yesterday, the replay is available on my YouTube. I am the same handle on both TikTok and YouTube at Resident Harmony Nerd. You can also find my YouTube by going into my link tree. If you would subscribe over there, I would greatly appreciate it. I am new on YouTube, and all the subscriptions, all the likes, they help me a ton. And same here on TikTok. If you're able to give gifts or double tap the screen, give me some likes. Follow, share. These are all great ways to support me without spending any money. And if you do want to spend money, I do accept donations and tips at my link tree as well. Even $1 helps me to keep this content free for the community. So if you go to my link in bio and you click on it, I believe it's the third button down on my link tree, it'll say tip me. You open that up and it gives you all the information you need for Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Zelle. And if you're able to send anything, it's deeply appreciated. And if you're not, that's okay too. You're still more than welcome here. Okay, so yesterday we learned how to build the major scale in Music Theory Monday, and today I'm going to teach you every single musical interval in the major scale from low to high, right? So from the low note to the high note. This is called ascending, okay? We'll do descending next week, all right? So let's talk a little bit first about what is ear training. I would love it for those who are here to drop in the chat what you feel like ear training is. Like, what is your perception of what ear training is, or why we practice it? Is it hard or is it easy for you? I would love to hear like where we're all starting from, with while making it very clear that there are no stupid questions in this space. This is a safe space. I have no issue booting trolls and kicking them out immediately, okay? And there are no stupid questions here. There's no shame in being a beginner, okay? So anything that you want to ask is valid, and if I have the answer, I will share it with you, and if I don't, we'll look it up together and make sense of it together. Hi Val, nice to see you today. I want to get back into singing. Roulette, you're in the right place. Welcome. Welcome to the Harmony Nerd community, my friend. Sarah, thank you for subscribing. Oh, I'm giving you a big hug. That made my morning. Thank you so much. Hi, Crimson Hero. How are you today? Alyssa already saw that video and liked it. Save it. There's I put a little, because I know I'm chatty. I'm a chatty Cathy. So whenever I make content, I put a little. I usually put a little like sticker right here with where you can skip ahead to for the practice. And I think it's like halfway through the video, but it's marked at the beginning, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can scroll through to the practice part. Hi, Yukikmo. Nice to see you today. All right, we've got some answers here on TikTok. I asked, what is ear training to you? What does it mean to you? Where are you with ear training? Nickname asked, are you supposed to sing from the diaphragm? No, Nickname, you can't sing from the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a passive muscle. But that is a question that I will answer in more detail on Voice Lesson Thursday. So if you would like to come back on Thursday and ask this question again, I'll have time to get into more depth with the answer there. Diaphragm is a passive muscle that helps us with our breathing, with our breath support for singing, but you can't sing from the diaphragm, and I personally believe that language is really problematic because it doesn't really make any sense. And I think it's an old school voice teacher adage that is dated and needs to be updated. So if you're looking to learn breath support, I would Google breath support, not sing from the diaphragm. I hope that that helps. And like I said, I'm happy to answer more if you can stop back through on Thursday. Brightian says, I've been kindly and reliably told that I am pitchy. Not sure what that is or how to fix it. So what happens when you're pitchy is most of our ears can hear accurately pitch because we've been trained with commercial music since infancy or maybe even in utero. So our ears hear pitch really accurately. Excuse me. If your singing is pitchy, that means that you're having trouble matching what you hear to how you create sound. Okay, so I would recommend there is Bright Eons in am I saying that Bright Eons, I think maybe? Pardon me if I'm saying that incorrectly. Go to my link tree. The very last link at the bottom is a website called checkyourpitch.com. Start there. It's going to play you one tone. You're going to sing it back, and it's going to give you like a map of how accurate you are. And I want you to start playing with your voice until you figure out what an accurate pitch feels like. You have to connect your ear and your brain and your voice so that when you are singing a correct pitch, you know what it feels like. I hope that helps. And that's, again, something that we can go into more detail on a Thursday. Sarah, okay, back to ear training. Thanks for all the questions, friends, though. I love the engagement. All right, Sarah says ear training is being able to pick out what interval a harmony is at, a third up versus a half step. Yeah, that's a great summary. I know TikTok only gives us like 150 characters. So Perm says, ear training is very important for me to enhance my musical accuracy. Yep, it definitely helps our pitch centers for sure. Very cool. Oh, Sarah, no worries. I figured that was a typo. I text like a boomer. I'm so bad with the typos. So, like, there is never any judgment. All right. Cool. All right. Alyssa, my technical training is pretty limited. I just like to sing and want to learn more. That's awesome, Alyssa. You're in the right place. I'm going to start doing group lessons this spring as well. I'm in the process of moving, so I have to focus on that right now, but I'm going to start teaching group lessons so that they'll only cost like 10 to 15 bucks a person, and we can get more into depth with the vocal training. So you can still get like lessons online, but they won't be one-to-one, so they'll be much more affordable. It is confusing, nickname, and there's a lot of noise out there too, right? You don't know what is good information and what's bad information, and also what's good information for you could be bad information for me because we're all anatomically different. So, I don't really believe that there are good or bad sounds, right? It's just healthy sounds versus an unhealthy sound that's going to cause damage, right? Like, who's to say what's a good sound versus a bad sound? Alyssa says, wait, sorry, I thought I was supposed to sing from the diaphragm and not from the throat. You can sing from the diaphragm. It's just like, it's problematic language, right? Sound production happens in the throat. You want to support from your lower abdomen. But to say to sing from the diaphragm is nonsensical. It's a passive muscle. We can't even control it. It's like the intercostals and the transverse abdominis that actually like weave into the diaphragm and help you move it. But you don't have to sing low. Like, you can sing from anywhere. Truly. Nickname, how to work on sounding nasally. Yes, that is something I teach. Bright Eons, you're the best. Thank you. You're so welcome. Sarah, yes, thank you for that. Singing from the diaphragm really does mean singing with breath support. So if you want to learn more about it, anybody who asked about singing from the diaphragm, start researching breath support for singing and try to get rid of the language sing from the diaphragm. Okay. Awesome. Okay, good. I'm glad I clarified. I don't want to cause panic ever, right? Especially around breathing because you're alive. So you know how to breathe. right? And I think that a lot of vocal coaches will put way too much pressure on the breath, and and then it causes everybody to tense, and that's like the worst thing possible. So the best thing is to just like breathe naturally, and then as you can just start to kind of focus on your breathing mechanism. Y'all, this dog will not stop barking. I have to close the window, which is a shame because it's like actually a spring like day here in Brooklyn. This dog has been the bane of my existence since I have lived here. Why do you have a dog if you leave it outside in the yard to just bark all day? It's so frustrating. Anyway, back to it. So let's get into it. Okay, so yesterday, Music Theory Monday, we built a major scale, okay? I'm just gonna do a really quick recap if you weren't here yesterday, and if you want to learn it in more detail, you're going to go to YouTube and you're gonna watch the Music Theory Monday from yesterday, okay? So there's a formula that we use to build a major scale, and we can start on any note in order to build that major scale. You might want to grab a keyboard app. This one is called Piano by Impala. It's only available for iPhone, iPad. I like this one because it has the note names and the octave numbers, but there are plenty of free apps available for Android as well. And if you don't want to download an app, you can open a browser and go to virtualpiano.net. Virtualpiano.net. Okay, and just having a keyboard can really kind of help for visual learners in particular. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Cindy. Appreciate it. Okay. So when we're building a major scale, and I'm going to use I'm going to use a C scale for now because a C on the piano is all of the white keys. So you're going to find 2 black keys, and then you're going to go to the left. Okay. And a major scale sounds like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, you're so welcome. I'm so happy to teach you. Okay, and we can build a major scale starting on any of these keys. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right, and this is me just singing by ear, but what if you want to know exactly what keys to play, the white keys or the black keys? That's where the formula comes into play, okay? So first musical interval lesson is a whole step versus a half step, and we're going to focus on this before we learn the other intervals in the major scale, okay? So a whole step is also called a major second, okay? This language is interchangeable for the most part. Whole step is a major second, okay? A half step is the musical interval of a minor second, okay? And here's the difference in the sound. Half step. Ooh, sing it with me. Ooh. If you're a low voice, sing down here. And the reason I'm having you sing it with me, especially for those people who maybe have trouble matching pitch, is we want to start to pay attention to how it feels in our vocal mechanism. This is the smallest musical interval in all of Western music, and it's very important for ear training and for intervals, okay? Now, when we're ear training, what we're doing is we are memorizing the relationship between 2 notes. It's what's called relative pitch. Okay, so we're trying to memorize, hey Raphael, we're trying to memorize the distance between one note and the other note, the first note and the second note, and then we're trying to match that memory of the distance between the 2 notes with the name of the interval. So this is a minor second or a half step, and it sounds like this. So we are trying to commit this to memory so that we can pull it out of our toolkit when we need it for something like sight singing or learning a new song, okay? If you want to take notes, like if you're really committed to memorizing this, I would recommend taking notes because we're gonna go through a bunch of different intervals today. Cool. And another way that we memorize intervals in ear training is we pick a song that we already know, and that song will help us to remember the intervals. So a half step, Classically, we would teach the Jaws theme, right? Right, and the shark's gonna come get you. However, I feel like what is more pop culturally relevant right now is Kendrick Lamar, right? The kind of that sample, that hook in Not Like Us, that is a half step. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Susan. Thank you for the follow, Coco. Does anybody have any questions on half steps? They're so important. Love, I know. It's so great. So great. My gosh, that halftime show was something else, huh? So fantastic. It's like every time I listen or watch it, I catch something new that is just genius, just brilliance. Talk about art. And to have such a broad platform, it's so cool. It's just so cool. Okay, I'm done fangirling. All right. I don't see any questions in the chat, so we're going to move. Does Kendrick's do a descending too? I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'd have to listen to it. Descending would sound like this. I do feel like this interval is used in hip hop quite a bit, like in hip hop samples. But I'm not sure off the top of my head if it's descending as well. Okay, so why are half steps so freaking important when we're building a major scale? Because we build the major scale with half steps and whole steps. Okay, and now we know what a half step sounds like. A half step is also a minor second, and a whole step is also a major second. So there are two half steps in one whole step. Okay, so going back to our visual aid, for those who are visual learners, if we're starting here and we're playing a half step, we're just going to the next closest key. A lot of times on the piano, it'll be a white key to a black key, but if you see here, like there's a couple white keys that don't have a black key in between, that is still a half step, okay? It's the next closest key. So when we're doing a whole step, we go two half steps. So a whole step or a major second is one half step, two half steps, okay? So now I know this is a half step and this is a whole step, okay? So now let's sing both a half step and a whole step. We're gonna go la 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 la. That was hard. So if you didn't get it, it's okay, no worries. All right. So we learned half step on its own. We learned half step with whole step. What does a whole step sound like by itself? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You're just going to go to re. Do, re. This is a whole step. Okay? Ukigmo asks, is Beethoven's Für Elise also a half step? Yes, it is. And that's a descending half step. I forget who asked. I think it was Sarah who asked about it on TikTok. That's a half step. Okay. Those are all half steps. Nice ear, Ukigmo. No love for Drake. Nah, he's not for me. Sorry, Raphael. All right. Cool. And cool. So now we know whole steps are do, re, do, re, do, re, do. Okay? So now let's see if we can sing a half step and a whole step. Here's your half step. La, 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 la. Now I want you to pay attention to how the whole step feels different in your vocal instrument. Here comes the whole step. La, 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 la. Can you start to feel the space, the difference in the space between a half step and a whole step? Let's do it one more time. Close your eyes if you want. Sometimes removing the visual stimulus can really help us focus on the feeling in our larynx more. Here's the half step. Pay attention to how it feels. It's the closest interval in the Western scale. La, 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 la. Good. Now we're moving to a whole step. Notice how it feels different. There's more space. La, 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 la. Okay, this is going to be particularly useful for people who feel like they have trouble matching pitch. You really want to start to get used to what it feels like to sing different musical intervals, okay? Cool. Let's see if we have any questions before we move on. Deductist. Deductist. 1022. Oh man, interval training apps or vids are weirdly exactly what I've been looking for years. Welcome. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Harmony Nerd community, my friend. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the heart meet also. Ava, thank you for the follow. Kevin, thank you for the follow. Alex, thank you for the follow. Oh, I get finger hearts too. Thank you. Alley Cat, thank you for the follow. Dana, thank you for the follow. You all are fantastic. So happy you're here. Feel free to drop any questions. Hey, Ayana, nice to see you today. All right, cool. So why did we just spend all of that time on whole steps and half steps? Besides the fact that half steps are the basic building block for all musical intervals, they're very important. I also wanted to share with people the difference it feels, the way the way both intervals feel different in the vocal instrument. Especially for those of you who feel like you have trouble matching pitch, this is a great place to start. And also don't forget, in my link tree, the last link is checkyourpitch.com, which is a free resource to help you learn how to match pitch, okay? All right, so major scales, when we're building a major scale, they're built like this: whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And then we're back to do, okay? So here's your visual for my visual learners. Going to start on a C. This is C4 or middle C, okay? From C, from the first scale degree C to the second scale degree D is whole step. And then from D to E, the second scale degree to the third scale degree is another whole step. Now the next thing in our formula is a half step. So from E to F, scale degree 3 to 4, it's only a half step. And then we go from 4 to 5, which is another whole step. 5 to 6, another whole step. 6 to 7, another whole step. And then 7 back to the octave or do or 8, okay? That's another half step. So the reason I called this 8 is because it's the same as the 1, but calling it the 8 instead of the 1 is representative of it being an octave above, okay? But either of those are correct. You could call it the 8, you could call it the 1, you could call it do. They're all interchangeable, okay? So you want to memorize this formula, and if you need more work with this formula, go to YouTube, click my Music Theory Monday replays, and watch the one from yesterday. We go into this in a lot of depth and we practice it, okay? So just once again, and the reason I'm saying scale degree numbers and not necessarily the note names is because I want you to understand that this is a formula that we can move anywhere here. It does not have to start on C for the formula to work, but if you memorize the note names, then it is specific to the notes. Does that make sense? Will you let me know in the chat, please? Hey, Jeffrey, let me know if that's making sense or if I need to break it down a little bit more, please. Okay, so once again, we have 1 to 2 is a whole, 2 to 3 is a whole, 3 to 4 is a half, 4 to 5, whole, 5 to 6, whole, 6 to 7, whole, 7 to 8, half. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, okay? That is how we build a major scale. Now, within the major scale, there are a bunch of different musical intervals. Cool, it looks like it's making sense to everybody, fantastic. Within the major scale, there are a bunch of different musical intervals, okay? We just learned a major second, which is do to re, okay? But we can also go do to mi, and that is called a major third. We can also go do to fa, or 1 to 4, okay? So the solfege syllables are like the do, re, mi's, and the numbers that I'm saying are the scale degrees, okay? So 1 to 4, or do to fa, is called a perfect fourth. 1 to 5, or do to sol, is called a perfect fifth, okay? 1 to 6, or do to la, is called a major sixth. Do to ti, or 1 to 7, is called a major seventh. And then do to do, or 1 to 8, or 1 to high 1, Okay, that's an octave, a perfect octave. Now you might notice that I called some intervals major and I called some perfect. Okay, that has to do with like the mathematics of the frequencies. We don't necessarily have to worry about it, but just know that fourths, fifths, and octaves are perfect. Okay, I'll say that again. Fourths, fifths, and octaves are perfect. Okay, seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths, everything else is major or minor. Okay, now because we're in the major scale, all of these other intervals are major today. So I showed you a minor second or a half step because I wanted to show you how we build a major second with a minor second. Okay, but we're not going to be working with minor seconds. If you look at a C scale, there are 2 minor seconds in the scale, and that's from Mi to Fa, or 3 to 4, that's a half step or a minor second, and from Ti to Do. Ti to Do is also a minor second or a half step. Okay, but for today, we are going to be building ascending musical intervals, meaning going from low to high, and we're going to be building them all from Do or from 1, okay? This is a great place to start if you're a beginner. And I'm going to be giving you the interval's name, how to build the interval, which means how many half steps are in the interval so that you can build this interval anywhere on the keyboard or on a guitar, okay? And then a popular song. We'll go over some popular songs that you can use to memorize and to like hold on to what these intervals sound like so that you can use it in real time in like chorus class or voice studio, or if you're just learning how to sing, you know, at home, wherever it's going to be helpful. Okay. So there is a great resource on earmaster.com. That's earmaster.com. called the Interval Song Chart Generator. This is a fantastic resource for learning musical intervals. So go to Google and search Song Interval Generator, earmaster.com, and you will find it. All right. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Ichabod, Leisha. Makes sense, makes sense. Brianna, do I have to be a vocalist to be here? No, honey. Not at all. My space is for everybody who wants to learn about music. You are so welcome. There are no dumb questions here, and there is no shame in being a beginner. I'm here to help. I realize that music education is kept behind a really steep paywall. It's fairly inaccessible, so this is for anybody who wants to learn. Magic, thank you for the follow. Sarah, it's ear training. It applies to any instrument. Yep, that's true. Sprinkles, thank you for the follow. Yes, Sayana, you don't have to be a vocalist, but it is geared towards vocalists. Yes, I'm a professional singer based in New York City, as well as like a vocal coach and a music educator, composer, and content creator. So a lot of this is geared towards singing, but it can be applied to anything, especially the music theory. It can be applied to anything Western music across the board. Hi, Betty. Thank you for the heart me. DJ Crazy Keith. I love it. Thank you for the follow. Cool. All right, Kay Norton, thank you for the follow. Ina B, thank you for the follow. Cool, thank you for all the likes too, everybody. Woohoo! Okay, so now we're going to start learning these intervals. All right. We learned do to re already, okay? Do to re is, what is the name of the interval? Drop it in the chat. What is the name of do to re, or 1 first scale degree to 2 second scale degree? Who remembers the musical interval name? Whole step, it can be called whole step, yep. Major second, yes, that's the interval name. Yeah, major second, it is also a whole step. And these two terms are pretty much interchangeable for today's purpose. Okay. Awesome work. How do we remember a major second? Well, we can sing the scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, and just stop on re. Do, re. Okay. Or you can think of happy birthday. Okay, so the happy is the 1 first scale degree, or the do. And the birth is the re, or the second scale degree. Happy birthday, okay? So that is the song we're going to use to memorize a major second. The next interval is from do to mi, or the first scale degree to the third scale degree. This is called a major third, okay? Just listen to the interval a couple times. Do you hear a popular song in there? If you can hear something, a song to remember a major third with, drop it in the chat. And if you can't, no worries. I'm going to give you a couple suggestions in a minute, but I just want to give you all a chance to hear what you hear and create your own associations before I give you some suggestions. Do, mi, or 1, 2, 3. Row your boat could work, but you'd have to skip the your. Row, 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 boat. So it's row to boat. The your is re. Row, row, row your boat. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Do, 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 re, mi. So you can use it. You just have to remember to omit the your. Rowboat. Yes, oh, and the Saints, awesome. And that is a pretty standard one that the music community tends to use to remember major thirds. Oh, when the Saints go marching in, but you just use the O and the when, and that is a major third. Oh, when the Saints go marching in, okay? So a little recap, we're going to use happy birthday to remember a major second, and we're going to use oh when the Saints to remember a major third. If you have other songs you like better, use them, right? Use what works for you. These are my suggestions, and that's part of why the interval song chart generator on earmaster.com is so useful. It gives you a bunch of suggestions, so you can pick the one that works best for you, okay? These songs change geographically, so check it before you use. Oh, interesting. Are you saying like the pitches of oh when the Saints are different in different parts of the world? Is that what you mean, Kashimana? Thank you for sharing that. Because I do realize like some songs that are popular in the US are not going to be popular in other places of the world, but the actual melodies change. Oh, that is fascinating. I mean, that makes sense to me, but I wasn't aware of it. Thank you for sharing that. Is oh when the Saints different? Is happy? Oh, well, happy birthday. There's probably different happy birthdays all over the place, right? I mean, we even have different happy birthdays in the US, culturally speaking. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. So then, if you don't know I guess the standard happy birthday that is standard in the United States, then maybe just use the scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, do. Pammy says, I was wondering. All right. Some other songs for major seconds are Silent Night, the Silent, okay? Frere Jacques, the Frere, okay? So there's a ton of different suggestions, so check out that interval song generator. All right. Alex, thank you for the follow. Paco and Lee, thank you for the follow. Okay, yeah, the interval song generator is a great tool. Okay, so now we have major seconds and major thirds. The next interval, what comes after thirds? It is a fourth, but do we remember the quality of the fourth, right? It's not a major or a minor. We use a different word for it. Does anybody recall? Perfect. That's correct. Awesome. American Happy Birthday is not as easy. Of course not. It's got a full octave in there. It's got a big range. For sure. Agree with you, Ann Scott. All right. Yes, fourths are perfect, and a perfect fourth sounds like this. Do to fa, or 1 to 4. Okay. Do to fa. Would I ever do random interval quizzes? Possibly on these Ear Training Tuesdays. Today is more foundational. I could also create a video like to practice for people to guess. Hey, Fairy House, thank you for the heart knee. We probably won't have time to get to it today. Yeah, I'm short on time already. So let's keep moving through these intervals. Perfect fourth, do to fa, or 1 to 4. I like to use Here Comes the Bride. Okay? There are plenty of other songs that you can use for this interval. Amazing Grace, just the ah and the maze, okay? The Harry Potter theme. Bum ba da 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 ba da da. I love that song. It's so great. All right. Okay. So that's a perfect fourth. Moving on to a perfect fifth. 1 to 5, do to sol, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Okay? Twinkle, twinkle. This is a perfect fifth. Everybody sing it at home. Here's your 1. Go ahead and sing your second twinkle. You should be here. Perfect fifth. Okay? Moving on to the next interval, which is a major sixth. Do, la, 1, 6. The song I like to use to memorize this is Hush, little baby, don't say a word, but just the hush and the little. Okay? Let's try singing this interval. Here's your 1. Can you use Hush Little Baby or another song from the interval song generator to find the 6th above the major 6th? Here we go. Hush lid. You're very welcome. Thank you for hanging out. It was lovely to meet you. Hope to see you soon. Okay? That's our major 6. Hush Little Baby. Cool. Kachimana, I am running out of time, so I'm just going to give one example for each, and everybody is welcome to go to the song interval generator. It's on earmaster.com, and that will give you more examples. Then I'm running low on time. Your girl's got to get to therapy. She needs the therapy. Being a human is real hard. All right. So major 6 once again. Thank you. It is important. Dola. And I live in Brooklyn too, so it takes me an hour to get to therapy. It was ridiculous. It's not like I just get to drive 15 minutes or walk down the street. Oh man, thank you for the rose. Yes, especially these days. Being a human is always really weird and confusing, but woof. What is 2025, y'all? Help. My poor therapist doesn't even know what she's in for. Heart Naomi. If you have a therapist who you love, go ahead, drop their name in the chat. We can all have collective thanks for our therapists. Right? Oh my gosh, this January was like 6 years long in itself. Oh God. I'm so glad that we can all relate and hold each other in the discomfort of being a human right now. I love you guys. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through. And part of my act of resistance is offering this education for free, right? Because when we don't share our knowledge, that means somebody is profiting off of keeping the knowledge behind a paywall, and we're not going to do that here. Okay. Moving on, stepping off my soapbox. Let's talk about major sevenths, okay? Music is wonderful therapy. I agree. Major seventh is a 1 to a 7 or a do to a T. How do we remember this? Take on Me from the 80s. You all remember that awesome song? Take on me. Right? That song from the, and it's just this part. Take on. Let's have a major scale primal scream. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, sent by him. I'm so sorry you had that experience. I hope that they made it clear that it was that they needed to do the work on themselves and it wasn't about you. I hope they made that clear. Okay. So let's practice singing a major seventh all together. Here we go. Here's your 1. Can you find the major 7 above by using Take On Me or another song? Here comes the answer. Ah, my daughter just performed Take On Me with her choir last month. It was awesome. I love that. Oh, sent by him, it's a joke. It's hard to tell in written text, right? When we're being sarcastic or when we're joking. But thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it. All right. I have heard of that happening to people, though. That's why I was compassionate and empathetic. It's not cool. All right. And now we're going to do a perfect octave, the whole shebang. From 1 to 8, somewhere over the rainbow, somewhere. That's how we sing a perfect octave, okay? Go ahead, try it at home. Here's your do or your 1. Can you find the perfect octave above using somewhere over the rainbow or another trick? Sing your answer. Here, you should be here. Okay, so now we have at least one song for every interval in the major scale from do up, right? And remember, we're just doing ascending today, which means from low to high, and we're just doing the intervals that start from do, right? Because there's a ton of other intervals in the scale too. You could sing from re to sol, that's a different interval. You could sing from fa to la, that's a different interval. So we'll get into that on another day. This is foundational ear training today, okay? I'm going to scroll up and see if there are any questions, and then we're going to practice this a little bit. I'm going to play intervals for you, and I want you to see, or I'm going to play the do for you, and I'm going to name an interval, and then you're going to try to sing it at home. I'll give you a minute to work it out, probably like 20 seconds, and then I'll play the answer. Okay, so we'll do a little quiz now that we have all of our tools together. And if you're just joining me or you are having trouble remembering which songs to use for which interval, go to Google, type in earmaster.com, and then song interval generator. And that'll give you a bunch of songs to remember the intervals with, okay? FYI, the song Shout from Tears for Fears is about primal scream therapy. Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. So we were wanting some primal screams over here. Let's just listen to Tears for Fears. Shout. Awesome. So cool. All right, let me see here. You're awesome, Fairy House. Thank you. I love that we have a lot of people cheering on therapy here. That's fantastic. Thank you, everyone who followed. Really appreciate you. The Peculiar Sarah, thank you. Humaning is no fun sometimes. I agree, Betty. How many times I'm like, okay, next realm. I'm ready. Can I go now, please? And humaning is like, no, you gotta stay here. You have more work to do. And I'm like, okay, fine. Fine, I'll stay. Oh, goodness. Music is wonderful therapy. I agree. Pammy, you wanted the primal scream. Check out Shout by Tears for Fears. Yeah. Angie says, this is all new to me. You're a treasure. God bless you and your wonderful heart, willingness to share this. Thank you so much for your kind words. This brings me so much joy. I think you can probably tell. Like, I just love it. And sharing it brings me so much joy. Like, I feel like I nerd out on this stuff a lot, which is why my handle is Resident Harmony Nerd. So finding like-minded people to share this with makes me so happy because I love to nerd out on it. So thank you for being here. Mookie, thank you for the follow. It is a hard song, Betty. Take on Me. There's a lot going on in that song, and it's a really wide range. Yeah. And how fun to sing that in a choir, right? I miss singing in choirs so badly. I'm in the process of moving, but I'm planning to put together some like 1 day choirs so that people can just show up and we can all sing like one choir song together in like 4-part harmony. And I'm wanting to do some circle singing events too. So if you're interested in any of that, right now I'm in New York State, but I'm moving and I'm not entirely sure where I'm going. This is a transitional year for me. So sign up for my email list if you're interested in any of these things. It's at my link in bio, the first little button. And when you sign up for my email list, you'll also get immediately a free PDF in your inbox on how to build, using some of these tools we've talked about today, how to build major triads. Major triads are fantastic if you want to learn how to sing vocal harmonies or learn how to hear harmony at all. So if you join my email list, you'll get that PDF and it will teach you the music theory of how to build these intervals and also how to practice ear training at home, even if you don't play piano or any other instruments. So if you're interested in that, please join my email list. I am really bad about sending out mass emails, so I definitely won't spam you. I'm going to start, my goal for 2025, especially after I move, is to do at least like 1 email per month. So I promised I won't like drown you in emails. Feels like February. Thank you for the follow. Siri, thank you for the follow. Mrs. Green Jeans, thank you. Awesome. Do you like Kurt Elling? I'm not familiar. I'm going to screenshot this though and I'll check it out. Thank you for asking, Gibda Bones. Thank you for the follow also. Sarah Finkel, thank you for the follow. Miss Green Jeans, I really enjoy your vibe here. Thank you. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome. Welcome to the Harmony Nerd community. Oh boy, I'm not going to say this right, but thank you for the follow. It looks like Josure Eyes. Sorry if I butchered that. Thank you for the follow. I miss singing with a choir too, or just others. It really is connectivity. And actually, if there's a ton of scientific research studies that show when we sing in community, that our immunity boosts. And the more humans we sing with at a time, the higher our immunity boosts. These studies are fantastic. If you're a nerd like me and you're interested in like the neuroscience of music, check out This Is Your Brain on Music by David Levitin. Check out his website as well. I think I might have the book in my TikTok shop or on my link tree. So if you're interested in the book and you can buy it through one of my links, I appreciate it. It helps me keep this content free, like all these affiliate links and stuff. But it is such a good read, and it does get quite sciencey, but he does a good job explaining the science, I think. And it's so fascinating. It like studies why we almost get like addicted to music and why it feels so good. It's just, I can't say enough awesome things about it. Check it out. Kathy, thank you for the follow. Dulce, I hated doing oral skills in college. Okay, well, you're welcome here, but this might not be the space for you then, because that's what we're doing. But hopefully we're having a lot more fun than in college. Tallulah, thanks for sharing the live. How are you today, honey? Nice to see you. Marissa, thank you for the follow. Yes, amazing energy. You would know, Fairy House. Thank you. Okay, so now we have all of these tools to sing our musical intervals. And remember, we're pulling up the interval song chart generator on Earmaster if we don't have them memorized yet. Okay, I am creating a study guide for this that I'm going to sell for like $2 or $3. It's not ready yet, but it will be available in the near future, and I'll be sure to remind you on these ear training Tuesdays. Okay, I'm doing well, a little late, but listening well at work. Thank you for the book recommendation. You're so welcome. I actually think once I move, I want to do a book club on This Is the Brain on Music, where we'll meet like once a month or once a week rather, and do like a chapter a week. I don't want to like overwhelm people. I know everybody's lives are really full. But I do think I'm going to put a book club together, probably starting in like May, late April, early May. Yeah. I'm craving community so deeply, and I know I can't be the only one, right? Like this American individualized capitalist stuff isn't working for most of us anymore. So the more community we can create, I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. The first thing people with normal hearing over here is the rhythm of their mother's heartbeat. Yeah. Music is literally the first thing we experience. Oh, that's so beautiful. Sent by him. Thank you for sharing that. I'm like getting emotional over here. It's so beautiful. Have to go. Thank you for dropping some music into my brain today. You're so welcome. I'll see you soon, Mrs. Green Jean. Thank you for being here. Okay. Here is our C scale. Sing it with me. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And go back down. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Forgive my little unwarmed up voice. She's not sounding too beautiful today, but that's okay. We work with what we got, okay? Another way to sing this scale is using scale degrees. Do, re, mi are solfege syllables. Let's try it with scale degrees now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now remember, this is our do or our 1. So every interval that we practice singing, we're going to start from here. My cat is sitting on my puzzle. I think he does this when he's mad at me. He's like, I'm going to mess up your puzzle because you're not paying attention to me. You're being rude, little meowie. He's just staring at me. He knows exactly what he's doing. All right. So let's start with a major second. We're going to do them in order to kind of solidify them in your brain that way. And then I'll go back and do a second round and we'll mix them up a little bit. Okay? So first one, we're going to do do to re, or a major second. Can you use a song like Happy Birthday or the scale, do, re, mi? What are some other options for a major second? The first two notes of Frere Jacques, first two notes of Silent Night. Use one of these tools to find the re or the second scale degree, okay? The major second above this one. Here comes the answer. 1, 2. Are you singing this note? If you are, then you got it correct. A major second can be tricky, even though they're next door neighbors. When you play them together, listen. Do you hear how crunchy that is? That's what we call a dissonant harmony, so it can be trickier to hear than some other intervals. So if you didn't get it, don't be hard on yourself. Who did get it? Let me know in the comments. Did you get it? Do we need another go on a major second? How did we do? Thank you for the follow, Jessie. We're almost to 10K likes, everyone, on TikTok. If you don't mind double tapping that screen. Let's get to 10K. I've got to sign off in 5 minutes. All right. Moving on to a major third. That is do to mi, or 1 to 3. First scale degree to third scale degree. Fairy House got it. I love it. Okay. We can use the first two notes of Kumbaya. We can use the first two notes of When the Saints Go Marching In. We can use Obla Di Obla Da by the Beatles. Thank you for the follow, Blabber Cat. Here's your starting note. Can you find the major third above it? Here comes the answer. 1, 3. A lot of vocal harmonies are built on a major third, so this one might have been a little bit easier for you to hear. How did we do? Cool. Thank you for the follow, Ravioli. All right, moving on to perfect fourths. Here's the one. Can you find the perfect fourth above? You're going to use a song such as the first two notes of Amazing Grace, or the first two notes of Here Comes the Bride, or the first two notes of the Harry Potter theme. Thank you, everybody, for all the likes. Oh, we did it. We're over 10K. Thank you. Okay, here's your one. Can you find the perfect four? Here comes the answer. Oh, I just totally blanked out. See, I've been a professional singer for over a decade and I still get some of these wrong, so don't worry if you're new and you're just learning. Okay, hold on. Focus, Tara. Here we go. Da, da, 1, 4. Cool. How are we doing? Are we getting these? You starting to get the like an understanding of what we're doing here with these ear trainings? We're memorizing these intervals so that we can develop what we call relative pitch. This is really useful for sight singing. This is really useful for harmonizing. It can be really useful for songwriting too. All right, let's move on to perfect fifths. Thank you for the follow, Victoria. Thank you for the follow, Lydia. All right, here's your one. Can you use the first two notes of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to find the perfect fifth? Here comes the answer. Twinkle, twinkle, 1, 5, do, sol, do. How we doing out there? All right. Moving on to major 6, do to la. All right, we're going to use hush, little baby. Got it, nice. I think I got it. Awesome, Betty. Here's your one. Can you find the major 6 using Hush Little Baby or a different song that works for you? Do to la, 1 to 6. Here comes the answer. Hush little baby. Ooh, my lower little voice, she is not wanting to sing today. That's okay. We meet our voices where they are. We do not force them to do anything. Otherwise, they don't work with us. We got it. Heck yeah. 6s are tricky. I'm celebrating with you all. Congrats. Moving on to major 7s. We are using Take On Me. Beatles. Oh, yeah. I love the Beatles. The Gen Z kids don't tend to know who the Beatles are, though. I have to be honest. When I have Gen Z students, I'm like, oh, like Let It Be or Hey Jude. I use Hey Jude a lot for minor thirds descending. And they're like, no idea. I'm like, I was raised on the Beatles, Bob Dylan, folk music. My father's a folk musician. So too high for you today. That's okay. You can always sing down the octave. It's too high for me today, too. You hear my voice cracking all over the place. I just wanted to use the key of C so that if people who are not super familiar with the piano are practicing at home, that it's a little bit easier for them to figure it out because it's all white keys. Beatles are my 16-year-old's favorite band. We jam out. That's awesome. My nephew loves the Beatles too, and he just turned 20. So I think it probably just depends on, yeah, exactly. Their parents need to educate them. It depends on what is listened to in the household for sure. Okay, major 7s, Take On Me. Here we go. Here's the one. Can you find the major 7 above? Do to T. Here comes the answer. Take on 1 to 7. Do to T. I had some 13-year-olds singing Beatles and Zeppelin in karaoke the other day. Heck yeah, gave me hope for the future. I love that. I perform at Red Lion in Lower Manhattan quite a bit, and it's very close to NYU. And so the age of the people who come there for live music, they tend to either be very young or foreign tourists from a lot of European tourists, or tourists from South America. And I couldn't believe it. The last time I played there, I mean, they're kids to me, but they're young adults, in reality. All they wanted to hear was ABBA. ABBA! I was so surprised. I was like, whoa, I mean, cool, awesome. But they were not asking for like Dancing Queen. Like they were asking for like deep cuts of ABBA. I was like, oh. When I think one of them asked for Super Trooper, I was like, this is so random. So, are you on 2 apps? I am on 2 apps, Betty. I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube. So unfortunately, I am out of time today, so we're not going to be able to do another round of practicing. But because I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on TikTok, the replay automatically gets posted to YouTube. So if you want to go back and practice any of this, I have an Ear Training Tuesday replay list on my profile on YouTube. If you're on TikTok and you subscribe to me on YouTube, I'm greatly appreciative. Thank you everybody for hanging out. My name is Tara, your resident harmony nerd. My handle is the same on both TikTok and YouTube at Resident Harmony Nerd, or you can go to my link in bio and that will connect you to my YouTube as well. I'm new to YouTube. So a great way to support me if you're not able to send a tip is to go to YouTube and subscribe, like some videos over there, share some videos, save some videos. Thank you, Ellen. Also, please follow me on TikTok. Show me some love. Give me some likes. Save my videos. Comment. These are all great ways to support me and to support the Harmony Nerd community. Gifts as well. Yes, thank you, Shiny. Um, these are great ways to support me and to help keep Harmony Nerd content free. So you can also send me a tip if you're able. Even $1 helps to maintain the free content, or you can buy me a coffee, whatever you can send, $5, $10, greatly appreciative. Third button down on my link tree is Tip Me. That will open up a document with my Venmo information, Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. And thank you so much to those of you who have sent me tips. I see a lot of you here on TikTok today. I see you. I love you. Thank you so much for supporting me. I really deeply appreciate it. Bye, sent by him. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again. Oh, you were born in Brooklyn. Awesome. There is a lot of great music all over the city. It has changed a lot since 2020, I'm not going to lie. But we march on, right? Still a great hub for music, for sure. We lost a lot of great venues in 2020, though, I'm sad to say. Rockwood Music Hall just closed. You've been to the Village in 79. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, Paco, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to say you're a lovely person, too. I don't know that we know each other, but just by the fact that you're here and you're enjoying yourself, I'm guessing you're pretty freaking awesome. All right. As for those who are new here, my name is Tara. I'm a professional singer based in New York City. I am also a music educator, composer, and content creator. And I realized that music education is kept behind a really high paywall. So I have weekly offerings for you all: Music Theory Mondays, Ear Training Tuesdays, Warm Up Wednesdays, where I go through my warm up routine as a professional singer so you can develop your own warm up routine. Voice Lesson Thursdays, in which we discover a topic. I give essentially a group voice lesson on YouTube and TikTok live. This week's topic is finding your mix voice. So we're going to talk about different singing vocal registers, the main three: chest, head, and mix. Okay. And then Fridays, I do something called Frequency Friday, which is kind of like the deep soul connection stuff with music, where we talk about confidence building, nervous system regulation, community, how music has been used in community for ages. It's like kind of the more like soul piece, regulation piece, music as a tool for healing, that kind of thing. So these offerings are at different times every week. So if you're interested in them, on TikTok, go to my profile, and on YouTube, go to my main page, okay? And you'll see all of these live events pre-scheduled. For TikTok, you click in the live event and you pre-register. TikTok will show you the time in your own time zone, and it'll allow you to pre-register, so it'll remind you when I go live, okay? And then on YouTube, you go to the scheduled stream and you click the notify me button, and YouTube will show you in your own time zone. And will notify you when I go live, okay? For those who are new here, I live in Brooklyn. I am chronically late, okay? Am I saying there's a correlation between living in Brooklyn and being chronically late? I am. Does it apply to every Brooklynite? No. Does it apply to me? Yes, absolutely. So I might not hop on for 15 or even 30 minutes after the start time, but I always will be here, okay? So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to scroll up and just see if there are any last minute questions, and then your girl's got to get to therapy. She's got to go be therapized. I need ear therapy. I'm in my 20s. My eardrums are shot. You might want to go see a hearing specialist tone October if you can. That's probably the best way to do it. Ear training might help, but I'm not a doctor. Logos, identify the interval. Yes, that's what we've been doing. If you missed it, Logos, go watch the replay on YouTube live, or on YouTube rather. I have an Ear Training Tuesday replay list, and you can practice. Thank you for all the follows and all the likes, everyone. Bye, Ayana. Yes, YouTube lessons are the same name. They are. Thank you, Fairy House. Thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please subscribe on YouTube. It's a big help. I'm brand new over there. Play a 6th interval. Hush, little baby. we use Hush Little Baby to memorize it. This is a major 6th from Do to T, or 1 to the major 6. Fairy House, you're like my teaching assistant today. Thank you. It's not the same time every day, Pucko. The time changes. I'm a freelancer, so it's kind of based on my schedule, but they're all pre-scheduled, so you can see when they're going to be in my profile. Same answer for you, Nadra. Thank you for asking. All right. Betty, thank you for helping to answer questions as well. I appreciate you. I love that my ride or dies are like my TAs today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you helping in the comments. Hi, fellow Brooklynite Sammy. Nice to meet you. Cool. And then do we have any comments over here on YouTube? Awesome. We've got some friends connecting in the comments. I love it. All right. Awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is Tara, your resident harmony nerd. We're going to do a warm-up Wednesday tomorrow. I'm going to walk y'all through my vocal warm-up routine, and I'm going to tell you what time it's at in just 1 second. I schedule these like a week out, and then I put it on my calendar, because if it's not on my calendar, I really don't remember. Wednesday warm-up, 10 a.m. tomorrow, so 10 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, and then voice lessons are at 11 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday. All right. So, and actually Frequency Friday, I think I'm going to have to cancel this week. It's on the schedule right now, but my best friend is coming to the city for the weekend, and I'm going to go hang out with her. The sessions are between 1 hour and 90 minutes usually. All right. It was so good to see a bunch more people in here, and the comments are so active. It's really fantastic. All right, my loves, I am off to therapy. Have a lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you. Bye, YouTube.